I think an intro could be helpful, but it could be over.
I don't think we need an intro.
Welcome. Hi. We didn't
Welcome.
We didn't see you there. This is exciting.
It is.
Monumental. People are comparing this to the end of days, but if it was the start. So it's exciting. We've spoken about this a lot. This is not a unique male thought.
No.
Every man
Not at all.
walking this earth who puts his pants on like Jadon and I, you've thought
Right
about...
in front of the left. There you go.
There you go. In and then zip up. Oops, but don't zip your... Yep. Hey. And so, yeah, everyone has always thought about making a sport podcast.
Correct.
And now we're bringing it out of the
you.
group chat.
Welcome.
That's what the youths are saying. To the
Left Back Podcast. TLB, baby.
TLB. You've heard of Certified Lover Boy,
You heard of TLC
Tender Love and Care.
or Tables, Ladders and Chairs.
Okay.
WWE.
SmackDown versus Raw. No, please. Are you one of those people that like thinks WWE is a sport?
It is. I think so. I think it's entertainment. And if something entertains me...
It's sport.
It's sport.
So, good game or hacky sack.
Sport.
Sporting excellence.
Sporting excellence.
It's exciting. I'm one of your co-hosts. If you're listening, if you're watching, you can see me. Or there's something wrong with your eyes. I'm one of your co-hosts, Samuel Holmes. Many have referred to me as the sort of Jose Mourinho of hockey. That's a term that gets chucked around, but older Jose, Inter Jose, not like United Jose. So
founder of KETS.
Founder of KETS, yes.
KETS extraordinaire.
This is a Kids Eat Toast Sometimes production. So we try to do a few more podcasts. We're trying to grow the channel in terms of the content we do. And this is one of it.
Correct.
The Left Back Sports Podcast. So we'll be bringing you all things sports. And I am, of course, joined by... probably not my best mate, but like a mate. Jadon Gideon.
Happy to be here, Holmesy.
Yes. Wellington, Sam Wellies. Jadon, often referred to by most as Mosaics.
Mosaics, Kids, Giddy.
Choco.
Yeah, there's a lot.
There's a lot you can call him, but...
Choco.
Choco. It's so if you were to introduce yourself, what are your sporting achievements?
Yeah, I'm a current hockey player for Central Hockey Club. Could have been pro footballer.
Oh, and what happened?
Injuries.
What happened with your knee?
It just wasn't good enough. That's the one thing. As their knees, just a bit fragile.
Yeah, that's when you go, hey, doc, is my ACL? He says, no, you just suck at soccer. So at least you didn't come with, I went to the Ajax football trials. And no, you didn't. I like that. So.
Flip.
Okay.
Just, old wounds there.
Yeah. And
just a all-round good guy, simple-minded human that overthinks.
Okay. Started this podcast to get a girlfriend. That's what it was. One of our big talking points.
Yeah. But just a guy that loves sport.
Yes, Okay, that's fantastic. Epileptics come and go, and I'm here to stay. But no, I too am a sports fanatic, like many South Africans. Grew up in a sporting home. Saturday, not for the boys. Saturdays for sports.
Correct.
Girls or boys, everyone's welcome. Especially if you want to start dating Jadon.
No.
Okay. So we're not doing that. But that's fantastic. And what is a left back, Jadon? Because why did you name your show that? What are you doing? Why don't you? What kids watch sports sometimes? So it's not good for search engine optimization.
Yeah.
What's your definition of a left back?
A left back for me is obviously now bring it into a more, formation thing. We actually play the position of left back. I think it's a very unsung, position. If you think of, footballers, if you think of footballers that play left back, Patrice Evra, unsung hero for United. Ashley Cole, one of the best left backs, obviously, in England. And
obviously,
obviously. And if no one really speaks about them, they usually speak about the name brands, like the Ronaldos, the Messis, but they don't usually speak about the left backs. And I think myself, I don't really get the praise, and I don't want the praise, but you know what I mean. We don't really get spoken about a lot, but we do a lot for the team.
So Jadon actually plays as a left back.
Correct.
And
Central Hockey Club.
Which, you mentioned that already. I know it's a big whole PR tour for Central. But no, it's fantastic. And I think the common understanding of a left back is someone who's left back in the change room.
Correct.
So it's like not the most important member on the team. And if you're playing like left back in a fives team, or I don't even in a fives you contemplate the old left back. But if you play left back wherever you're at, school, university, you're probably the worst player on the team.
Thanks for that, Willis.
No, that's only a joke. But again, I like that definition, the unsung hero. And that we're going to share some like unsung sporting stories. The biggest focus of the pod is going to be on the big three. Mandela, FW. No. Yes, yeah. Jadon says sport people can't be political. So we won't make it political. But no, cricket, football/soccer, depending where in the world you've hailed from, and of course rugby. We got to do it. So and what's nice is we also have like a big segment for the show. Like we'll always, is the Tour de France clean? Should Jadon Sancho stay at United? All the big sort of fun talking points that
it's currently happening.
That you've stayed up and are now listening in your bedroom, waiting to hear. Pre nappies. So hopefully you're out of nappies, but that's neither here nor there. Should we start with the sport, Mazakes? We got to. What's been going on in the world of football?
Well, firstly, there's some good news. Bafana lost the game the 9th of June 2022.
And we went searching for some good Bafana.
We definitely went searching.
How many games did they play? Who did they play against? We're not really worried about that.
We lost the game 2022.
We also were last in the World Cup 13 years ago. So we need a waka wake up because it's not working.
It's getting depressing.
I feel like old already because I'm like. We're at that age where it was 13 years ago, the FIFA World Cup. Yeah. And you can already say, I can be like old enough to say, this generation, I just wish they could experience a World Cup.
I'm speaking and coaching to kids that have been born after the World Cup, which is
crazy.
Quite scary.
That's crazy. Do you think there were many World Cup babies?
I think so.
Yeah,
just the
watching Uruguay play Diego Forlan, the wind whipping through his hair.
Oh. The Jabulani. What a ball.
Yeah, what a time. Yeah. What a World Cup.
Yeah. And speaking of Bafana, sorry to interrupt.
Not to worry.
Banyana. Recently in action against the US of A.
Yes, exciting times.
In the US of A.
The only global sport that America are good at. Women's soccer.
No allows?
Sorry?
No allows?
No allows, yes.
Yeah, the whole controversy with the
sprinter.
What did he say? The world champions?
World championship of what? He knew that was his moment.
But I agree with him though. I don't think they're the world champions if they, basketball, league champions, NBA champions, MLB champions.
Yes. I also think like baseball is also only big in Japan. I'm not sure.
And in like the Latin American countries.
Yes. It's always
Cuba.
Cuba. It's always there. Like the Cuban guy is 25 years old. It's always in the movies, the joke. And he's got crayons there. 13. So, well done. I mean, Banyana, even when they lose, they win. Because,
lost 2-0 against the US of A last night.
They're just so lovable.
I love them. Banyana. What's not to love about them?
Exactly. And it's just like, it's a high... Why do you think Bafana can't achieve the results of Banyana? Is it because they're men and they can't play against women? That's what
I don't know answer that.
That's what people... that's one response.
That is.
It certainly would not be false. They legally can't play against each other. But what...
This is gender stuff and...
This is gender stuff. Gender studies? That's a good course.
But no, we all...
But no, for real, what do you think... Why can't Bafana reach success?
I think it's a lot of factors.
At any level.
I think it's a lot of factors.
There we go. Hugo Bruce, he's just texting me.
Oh, my word.
Says, there's a lot of factors. Okay, Hugo.
Now, there's a lot of factors.
Back in your Belgian box.
Obviously, the pressure that comes with just playing football in South Africa. And then secondly, I think just our structures are not great. But I think our structures for Banyana aren't great as well. But I think a lot of other countries
It's also
not great. So I think it's not it's not a bad thing that our structures aren't great. But I think structures are definitely in place for Bafana that's not supposed to be the number one, and then the lack of.
Yeah. Okay, that's a great point, because it's such a South African thing. Like, if it's even doors, we'll win.
We'll win.
We'll win. If like no one's practicing, we win.
We win.
No,
so,
but obviously not to take anything away from the Banyana ladies. But that's exciting, and it gets me thinking of old Megan Rapinoe.
What a career! What a lady!
Not a fan.
Political. Again, I don't agree with people being political. Sports people being political.
You just want them to kick.
Just play ball.
Kick and
just
shut up.
Thing. Just kick and shut up. But again, that's just my opinion.
But I don't know. I think you've said sports people. There's a person there. Why, if you want to be political, if you want to be quiet, shouldn't that be the approach? I don't know.
Again, it's your own perspective on things. But just for me, I think sometimes people get very political, or not focused on their careers, and because of that, the career has a dip, or it's a downfall, or we don't remember them because they're a footballer or a rugby player or something. We remember them because they're political.
Okay, I mean,
but again, it's just my opinion.
That's your opinion.
If
of
I
course.
get cancelled, last podcast.
That's the classic. Ooh, every podcast, every new podcast. Oh, I hope I don't get cancelled. I like peanut butter. Wow. That's probably not going to do it.
You like peanut butter?
Yeah, it's all right. It's not the peanut butter crunch. That's when you first understand culinary textures. When they say, there's another
soft,
element.
Smooth and,
but no, I'm only joking about Megan. It's not that I dislike her. I just watched one video on TikTok when a fan, desperate to meet her, bursts through, and he wants this, I don't know, it's a soccer ball or something signed, and she's like, you can look at a person. You can except homeless people. If you look at them, they smell danger. They onto you in a flash. No, I'm only joking, but no, they will. They'll come for you.
They will.
I walking in town. I always used to think place. I was like, I greet people. I do this. By then, I looked like, the Pied Piper. I had 15 people following me there. Now I was scared. I didn't know where to go. So now I've defaulted to rudeness. People aren't going to love that. But let me see you. Let me see you with your homeless boyfriend. Okay? You're so big about it?
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Well, I think she had a good career, though. Double World Cup winner, Megan Rapinoe.
That's GOAT status. Confirmed. Yeah. I mean, there are not too many people. Messi had to be given a fraudulent World Cup. And exactly.
What are we to judge?
What else is going on in the soccer world? Jadon is somewhat of a PSL expert.
I am. I love the PSL.
And it's something we want. What does it stand for? Premier Soccer League.
Premier Soccer League.
I like it. They say football. Fuck your football. You colonizing motherfuckers.
PSL is here to stay.
Soccer. Fuck football.
I'm a disky. I love it. Again, coming back to entertainment. If you want entertainment, the PSL is the place to be. Honestly.
You reckon?
Not football entertainment.
No, soccer.
Something else. It's always something different. The ref is the walkie-talkie's not working, or the linesman is running on the field and flagging offside where it's not offside. It's entertainment of the highest caliber.
And you put me on it, and I did the usual South African. I was like, oh, mama. And I watched it.
It's entertaining.
And it's entertaining, but also the standard of football is really not bad.
It's not bad.
It's not bad. The one thing it makes you also appreciate is how fucking hard La Liga.
It really is.
You're like, these guys are gone, because it's almost like, you watch Wimbledon and you're like, how did you miss that?
Yeah.
Then you go play tennis, bang! You're like, Djokovic, he's class.
Yeah. And also, to put it into perspective, people think in South Africa it's easy to play PSL, which is not. It's very difficult to make it to PSL.
I'm sure also it's like one of those things, it's a hard league. If you say, for example, let me download a football player in my brain. Say you were Neymar, right? And you came to the PSL. I'm not saying Neymar wouldn't succeed in the PSL. I think we'd all bet on him having a pretty good PSL career. But I don't think it would be easy. It
wouldn't be smooth sailing.
It wouldn't be smooth sailing. There'd be a lot of things. And you look at some of the fields, you're like, bumpy.
Yeah, it is. The conditions especially. So, for example, if we go to, play AFCON qualifiers north of Africa and in those underprivileged and struggling war-torn countries.
I thought that was us.
Oh, no. Compared to them, we're looking like, the Santiago Bernabeu. But,
We're the Belgians.
It's very tough. The conditions, just the heat, the humidity, especially, on the equator. So when they come here, it's like it's holidays. So that's why we always, struggle against, opposing teams coming to play in South Africa versus us going there.
And just the size, the size discrepancy. You watch AFCON when we sometimes in it, and you just like those
small.
The Nigeria,
Senegalese,
Central African. These are some big mofos. So that's very interesting. Who is the highest paid? Who's the highest paid player in the PSL?
Keegan Dolly.
And what's he bringing home?
1.5 mil a month. I'm not like.
Yo.
Yeah.
That's not too bad.
Yeah, the thing is, he's come from France. He played for Montpellier, coming back to South Africa, formerly with Sundowns, now with Chiefs.
You see, Chiefs. I did that just to show with Chiefs.
I taught him well. But yeah, coming from Montpellier, wages are obviously in euros in France, and coming down needs to have some sort of standard that needs to be met when he's coming down.
Yeah, so 1.5 million rand a month. That's not too shabby.
Imagine coming home with 1.5 a month.
Yo. I wouldn't come home. I'd just be out all the time.
Not going home.
Just go home and be bored. No, I'm living. Okay, that's fantastic. Of course, to the Premier League, because we want it to be general. We're not going to dive too much into, we're not giving you the statistical analysis of Amazulu. So I'm actually white, but yo.
Well, if you're listening, he's white.
Yeah, I wish we were
watching. Then
yeah,
we need something in that.
Yeah, expensive, eh?
Budget.
Must ask Dolly. Maybe he has one to give us. But
come on the pod.
I've announced it on Kidsy Toe sometimes. But I'm a born again Manchester United fan, and there was the Father, the Son, and Bruno Fernandes. So no,
well, he's our captain. He needs to take us home to the promised land.
He's one I'm struggling to get on board with. Obviously, a very good player, but
he's annoying. Eh?
He reminds me of a ratata, a rat. He's always he's obviously good to have in your team, and he's industrious, a really good player. But he's so you want to. But anyway, so
want to give him a Chinese bangle sometimes. You know what's a Chinese bangle?
Sounds sexual. Yeah. Let's see if I. Hey, no. Hairy as well.
Yeah, well, that's your problem. Chinese bangle. If you know, you know.
Yep. Wow. Inside and go.
Forms.
Yeah. So, and again, this was a time decision. I chatted to the PR team, what's it, when we're going to announce it? And they said, it's the best time now because I look like a saint. Like, who's running to support Manchester United now?
No one at the moment, I can tell you that.
No, not even Jadon. And we'll get to that a bit. Not you, Jadon Sancho. We'll get to that a bit later. But United, do you think they're on the comeback?
Not yet.
No.
I feel like people need to be patient. Season's long, 38 games.
Joe, it's long.
We're on game week 6 now.
I want to know what the fuck the Carabao Cup is.
But
no comment.
Yeah, no comment. Well, we won last night. Praise be to the Almighty and the powers that be.
No. Onana's world class.
He's not world class.
He is world class.
He's not.
Okay, in the definition of would he be the keeper for any team, he's not world class, but he's a very he's a very good goalkeeper.
He's good.
I mean, maybe more. He's one of those guys in sport that you just want to see win.
No.
Okay. Well, we'll agree to
disagree.
He
had a doping scandal, if you remember.
I don't. I've just started supporting
doping scandal. Ajax before he went to Inter Milan, he had a doping scandal, and then Inter Milan bought him. 8-month ban, 9-month ban.
For what?
For doping.
But like, what sort of doping?
I don't know.
Maybe like if it was recreational drugs, I'm maybe even a bigger fan.
I don't think it was recreational, but I know it's doping.
A goalkeeper be on steroids. Well, Andre, I'm
but he looks like a nice guy. Looks like a nice chap. Nice haircut.
But I feel we spoke about this before, and like you've got to test me. You've got to put me through the
pace.
The Man United trivia. So 5 questions.
Okay.
To decide if I can be a United fan. If not, I'll just I'll take the jersey off. I'm quite liking the look of Spurs under Big Ange ball. Yeah. You know, mate, soccer's... It's,
what a surname,
it's
for an
life.
Australian.
Yeah.
Postecoglou.
I think he's an immigrant to Australia.
Greek.
So he's... Yeah. Yes.
Very odd manager. But anyway, enough of Ange.
So what are the... What do I have to pass? Give me a few. Let's see. Obviously, we have
5 questions.
spoken about it.
5 questions. If you get 3 out of 5, I'm considering you a Man United fan.
Okay.
If you get 4 out of 5, Man
Ultra.
United fanatic.
Fanatic.
And then 5 out of 5,
David Beckham.
David Becks. Bend him like Becks.
Yeah.
Okay.
Did he play for
Becks-
United?
He did. Speaking of Becks,
Yeah.
what numbers, jersey numbers, did Dave Becks wear at United? There are 3, I'll accept 2.
No. Okay. So
It's
first
tough to
of
begin
all,
with.
Beckham was my guy growing up, but I only started watching him at Madrid. So
Okay.
I know he was 23 at Madrid.
Correct.
So I'm sure he was 23 at United. One of the numbers. Okay.
That's 2, so you have... Okay, I'm giving you another chance.
Was he one of the numbers?
What?
Was 23 ever his number at United?
No, United.
No, just at Madrid.
At Madrid.
Harlem Madrid. Okay.
And at Galaxy. But
Okay, anyway. Okay, so he would have been 7.
correct. That's 1.
That's 1. Strikes me as a younger guy who get into
So going down the wrong path.
down the wrong path.
Wrong
Okay.
path. Think big.
10.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
There we
Next
go.
question.
Next question.
We're moving.
Okay, easy one. What?
I feel like I'm going to fall apart here.
The Busby Babes.
Hi, boy. How far are we going back here?
No, that's what I'm saying. But it's an easy one. The Busby Babes, named after which manager? Easy.
Busby.
What's his first name?
Mr. Busby.
Think normal name. Just think normal name.
John Busby.
No, not John, man. Well, another name in the Bible. Man. Matt Busby.
Yeah, to you, Mr. Busby. So
To us.
that would be two
RIP.
from 2.
R.I.P.
Yeah.
2.
Two from
1 and a
two.
half.
Okay.
Next question. Should be a... This one's a difficult one. I won't lie. This one's a difficult one.
Okay.
The capacity...
No, man.
What do you mean?
The stadium is leaking. Don't come with Old Trafford. How many
Okay,
people?
next question.
80,000.
Oh,
How many?
85.
Yeah, but you see, health and safety violations, only 80.
Correct. And there's rats in the stadium.
And people vie
Glazers out.
when we lose in,
Glazers
people
out.
leave. So
You want the
it's
glazers
always
out.
around 80.
Okay. What's that? The third question.
Yes, I'm 3 from 3. Kind of.
Kind of. Okay. 4th question.
Nice one.
Who was our keeper
Hi, boo.
in the 1999 Champions League final? Easy.
Not easy because the...
What do you mean?
No, because I start panicking. I go, Schmeichel and Edward van der Sar. So I'm trying to get the
1999.
Schmeichel.
Good.
But I was just panicking because United greats.
Fishing for answers here, no? Yeah, I'm convinced.
I was just explaining my thought process. Not a
Last
good one.
question.
Okay.
Tough one. I won't lie. This is
I feel I want to revoke. I'm just going to support
What
Spurs.
were our colours before red? Our home colours. Before we adopted the Red Devils. We had a name. I'm not going to ask you the name. Before Man United got coined. Our colours. You can see in the stadium sometimes they'll wear 2 very different colours to red. And it's 2 colours.
Do you know what they ate on a Tuesday in the Roman Empire? How must... What is
I'm
this?
saying it's a difficult one. I'll
Green.
give you easy ones.
Green.
And?
Highball, white. Green and black. Oh, green and purple.
Think of lemon and lime.
Green and yellow.
There we go, boy. Well done.
What was the name called?
I think it was Newton and Heath, I think.
Oh, you think, eh?
Yeah.
There's another big fine. So, well, that's it. 5 from 5. Officially, officially a United fan. So that's exciting. But 1.
Good one.
I felt I got a few more. I feel, now you got to be like, who's Eric Cantona? And I say, the guy with the monobrow. So sick. If you put them together. Yo, have you ever had your
French.
eyebrows threaded?
Never. Not eyebrows.
I've had my eyebrows threaded and...
Painful experience.
You don't...
I had my lip waxed.
Yes. I think it's a similar group chat because I'm out here sometimes looking like Frida Kahlo. And this hairdresser, Chandra the goat, she threaded my eyebrows.
Chandra.
And I was... It's like, you know, like if you get something up your nose or you get hit on the nose, you can cry. Not because you saw, but because of the region,
Yeah.
the nerves and what have you. So she was like threading my eyebrows and there were like tears rolling down. And then when I opened them, she had called the whole Edge hairdressing salon around.
To what?
To watch me cry. And then they all laughed.
Wait, Cabs.
I never went back.
Cabs.
Yeah. Joking, I went back a few years later when I was grown.
But when they thread, I know we're going off topic here. Why? It looks like it's one piece of cotton. But how do they actually take the hairs out? Do they like...
I'm not a follicle specialist. I'm just the customer. But we are...
It looks cool though, I won't lie.
We are straying from the straight and narrow, the sport. It is, of course, time to move into rugby. I'm a bok. Sister Batina.
Hibari. Our national anthem.
Our national anthem. They did a remix there. They thought we wouldn't realize. We realized.
We did.
And I'm not just talking about the remix when 80 blow. Because, you know, I was at a bar and people were like excited that they started singing at 80 blow. And I was like, this ain't it, you know.
We're waiting for our real national anthem.
Yes. Well, what the English? No, you know, there are, like, if you're being honest, I think there are very few people in the world, in South Africa, that could sing our national anthem without fudging like at one of the stages.
Or rolling those words.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's such a beautiful anthem, but we all go, he's not singing when they like. But if you're there with the camera there and Khaleesi's screaming and crying.
He sings the national anthem with pride, eh?
Siya Khaleesi is
my captain.
Not the best rugby player. He's just the best person. He's got that Nelson Rolihlahla Mandela energy.
That charisma.
Yeah. He's just that guy. And when he sings the national anthem, you know, any thought of the depreciating rand, you know, the crime rate.
He really plays for our country.
It goes back, and you just want to get in there. Sure. And that's why we're always so proud of the Springboks, because win, lose, booze, but they always give it their all.
They do.
Whereas, like, sometimes I watch Bafana, I'm like, just press the guy.
They're chewing bubble gum and... My thing is, how do you play sport with bubble or chewing gum in your mouth? I'll never understand. You are breathing, you are at the peak of, you know, your physical...
Yeah, that's true. Maybe you are a left back and then you're reading the chappies, did you know?
What a time to be alive.
Okay, so of course the rugby starts with the Rugby World Cup.
Interesting Rugby World Cup so far. Interesting results. Fiji beating Australia.
Yeah, there you go.
There we go. New Zealand struggling a bit.
I don't think it's been the most interesting World Cup.
Results-wise, I think.
Oh, yeah, there have been some upsets.
I think it's very open.
Yeah, France beating New Zealand. I think maybe it's just I'm not on board with the French. A distant people, a romantic people. But I think it's also that 9 o'clock. Like 9 o'clock is post-rugby.
Yeah.
It's just starting.
True. We don't usually watch like the Six Nations. Well, I'm you know, so personally speaking, I don't usually watch the Six Nations. I'm not really clued up with the Northern Hemisphere rugby.
Yes, yeah.
But I do know who's on the come up and who's obviously on the down.
Yeah.
But yeah, Australia struggling
big time.
Soon to be out of the Rugby World Cup.
Yeah, you know, I feel sorry for Eddie Jones. Okay.
Why do you feel sorry for him?
I don't know. I can see. I think Eddie Jones took the Australian rugby project under the auspices of like he's going to restart Australian rugby, and they were very brave, and they said, "Oh, you know, just can us out, mate. We're going to show you." And he's like, but you know, a lot of states in Australia aren't involved or interested in rugby, so it's like this very crucial, like, you know, turning point for Australian rugby. They've got so many other sports that are like derivatives of rugby or that sort of thing that far outweigh in popularity. Cricket's big in Australia, that sort of stuff. Aussie rules, obviously. Yeah. But you could see he took this massive project on his shoulders. And I don't know if he thought maybe a bit too much of himself or whatever it was, but I can appreciate what he tried to do. It just hasn't worked. And I've never really been someone who rejoices when someone fails. Yeah. My dad always says to me, thanks, Dad. My dad always says to me, like, people doing better than you will never talk shit or, you know, because they're doing better than you. So it's not that I'm doing better than Eddie Jones. I'd love to be a coach at his sort of...
Come on the pod, Eddie.
Yeah. Yeah, fuck that press, mate.
I think,
you know what I'm saying?
I agree
it's
with
a
you.
convoluted point. It's taken you on many twisted roads, but I don't even think I got really to what I was trying to say. But thanks.
Yeah, I think when he took over Japan in the
2015 World Cup.
2015 World Cup.
Yep.
Same project, but again, I think
expectations different.
Yeah. With Australia having, very big in cricket, rugby league, Australian Football League as well. I think rugby has taken a back seat.
Yes. Also when Eddie Jones had Japan, he had Shinji Kajawa flying down. No, he didn't. But he had someone who that's the best part of Chasing the Sun, the South African documentary.
Yeah.
Mapimpi's that guy called himself Ferrari. I got him. It's ooh, Mapimpi was doing the most in that documentary, making you cry, making you laugh.
And he's just so chilled about it, eh? Heartbreaking story, and it's like...
as a man, you're going through a bit when you're watching the South African promo videos and they're talking about who they play for. And Mapimpi says Urban's dad. And you just want to start chunking because Urban's dad, but you also know Mapimpi doesn't have a family, so he must borrow. And then they cut to Urban and Urban's just
it's a good video though.
No, the Springboks, we love it. Maybe we just call this "Fuck the Left Back" podcast. The Springboks,
Bokke Pod.
Bokke Pod. So that's that. The big news, of course, us losing to Ireland. We touched a bit on that on KETS in the week, talking about it. So
I don't know why people saying it's a strategic loss.
Yes, well,
doesn't make any sense.
We made a video about that, and I was just like, "There's no ways you think." A professional sporting team
will lose,
lost on purpose. And wow, people lit me up in the comments. They said, you've never played the game, you've probably just played with tolls. That's what one person writes there. And I always go I don't read that, I don't worry about that stuff. And I look at that comment, I say, I did play with my sister's dolls. Anyway,
it's a good game of rugby though. I enjoyed it. Watched it with a couple of mates.
Could barely breathe.
Yeah, could barely breathe.
That's a classic. You wake up the next and both teams are.
I still find it sour that we lost though. Yeah, because we're so close. But I think
it's the best thing to ever happen.
You reckon?
South Africa is like a nation of underdogs. So I'm not saying the thing. Of course, it wasn't on purpose. We've covered this. But if you tell South Africa, hey, you guys are favorites, you're gonna win this. We don't understand that. It's not the Leuven's we come from. But if you're no one, you can't win. And I think that's what Eddie Jones was trying to do with the Wallabies. But you're hey, you're a first world country, guys. Yeah. So I think as underdogs, when you got that fire in our belly, we resonate with it. And I still firmly believe we're gonna win the Rugby World Cup.
I think it's gonna be tough. I obviously want South Africa to win. But I think it's going to be a New Zealand South Africa final. I think New Zealand will beat Ireland.
Can that even happen? I'm not trying to out you. I'm asking. Can it be a South Africa New Zealand?
I think because we're on the same side of the tree. Or different side. We're different side
of the Venn diagram.
Yeah, you know that boxy stuff.
You see, this is where people lose me.
No,
when they say we play and then my dad says, if we play, no.
No, I think
if Romania lose by 200, Trevor knows got the best. You just want to win your games and not be like Bafana where you have to support. Come on, Gabon.
They have to beat the opponent by 5 goals, and then we have to obviously score 10.
It's not possible. But
not possible.
The Rugby World Cup will keep you updated. We'll do some features on games. Obviously, this is the pilot episode. Sometimes they're successful. Sometimes it's Malaysian Airlines.
RIP.
Inshallah, maybe they find it.
Watch the Netflix doc?
I haven't.
Neither. We're too busy doing the sports.
What do they call it? The black box. Just like the black box. No one's seen it. No, that's scary. Hey, I must
lose a plane?
The
world is big.
We lost to Ireland and many things are possible.
Yeah.
Every time I get on a plane, I honestly do think it's one of the times I start busting out the
praise.
Get on
planes often?
Mr. Worldwide.
Every time I go on a plane, I'm like, yo.
I want to be like
you.
No, I will. But then I'll pray and I'm like, maybe then God's going to take me. Because he wants
I don't want this to be the way you go.
He's like, okay, I've heard your prayer. Thank you. And puts it to the side. He's like, okay, you can join us. Dead. No ways.
I don't want to go like that. Eh? Oh, it's getting dark. No.
It's getting dark. But do you think Fiji could win the Rugby World Cup?
No.
That's okay.
No. Let's not waffle here.
That's a fun one. Okay.
Fiji, they like Morocco for the World Cup, man.
Yes.
They're like...
They're going to make you some money.
Yeah.
But they're going to go crashing out.
The Islanders, the fans, they singing, they dancing.
Yo. The wing dropped the ball against Wales where they could have scored and could have gone ahead, the kick to come, all that sort of stuff. His family issued an apology to Fijians. You must... When I saw that, I was like, yeah, that's deep. But, well, what do you know?
They're loving people, you can see. The only thing they'll win is our hearts.
And maybe the sevens.
Sevens, that's their ball game.
Yeah, but... It's time for the main section of our show. It's only coming in about 30 minutes into the podcast. If this is what you've been waiting for, wait no more. And a big question we wanted to start asking, potential's interesting when it comes to sport. Have people lived up to their potential? If anyone's really a professional, anything in sport, cricketer, soccer player, football player, whatever it is, they're not really unsuccessful. They've made it to the highest, you never at a Brian, someone's like, your uncle, he's such an unsuccessful accountant at Deloitte, unless he's bankrupt and running.
Could have been something better.
He could have been the best, that man. And then, it was also going to get dark. But anyway, so we want to investigate sports people that have maybe not reached their potential. And that, in terms of homegrown, the first guy I think about, and I asked the question, is Quinton De Kock one of the biggest sort of wastes of sporting talent we've seen? That's a question I'll pose to you.
Yeah, I think talent by the boatload. But again, I don't think it's wasted talent. Because did we expect Quinton De Kock to do, great things like win us a World Cup? Or because then we can also pose the question: is Abel de Villiers a wasted talent because he didn't win us a World Cup?
Yeah, well,
you know what I mean.
I've never liked the World Cup argument because it's used. That's the
standard.
Because I like Ronaldo.
yeah, but it's the standard. I mean, for cricket, you don't get like. I know you do get like the best player in the world, but it's not like a football best player of the world or rugby player best player of the world, because that's like there's some sort of prestige to it.
I feel cricket is so hard though, because you can be the best cricketer in the world and go 0, 100, 10, 70, and that's still like a pretty. If you scored around 200 runs in 4 games, you're averaging 50. That's a pretty good tournament. Like cricket is batting especially is brutal. But Quinton De Kock, 1700s, 2250s, an average of 44.8. I mean, he's on par in terms of averages with David Warner, Sachin Tendulkar, and you could argue though that his prime years are still to come. And the best thing about De Kock are his interviews, and I got like blackout drunk at Newlands, and I was like screaming with like a bunch of like 10-year-olds trying to get his signature, and this was like in the day, so I had no excuse to be in the States, but I was like getting him to do spiker, shout spiker, because he had all those videos when he was on a boat and then the
fishing and blah, blah, blah.
Spiker, and then he did spiker. But De Kock's like hilarious thing is like he doesn't really seem to care too much about cricket. So this is a direct quote from him.
Did you hear the latest interview?
Oh yeah,
with he doesn't like to train.
Oh, but that's what we're getting to. Oh yeah, not to worry. Apologies. But he goes, I don't touch a bat when I'm at home. Okay, that's not a good De Kock. But he goes, Quinton De Kock on like sort of training says, I don't touch a bat when I'm at home. We play so much cricket that it's like riding a bicycle. A couple of nets with a team and I'm ready to play.
I find it interesting.
That for me is what talent is.
You don't have to do much.
It just comes to you naturally.
The bare minimum.
Yeah, and he's one of my favorites cricketers to watch, and to be like the 7th fastest batsman to score 1,000 ODI runs. You're playing in South Africa a lot. The decks, contrary to popular belief, are pretty spicy. If you're playing on highways in India, what are we doing here? So, and he's also got the fastest T20 50. So he's like a real record breaker, pace setter.
21 innings, eh?
Yeah.
Fastest 1,000, seventh fastest 1,000.
And I think he's, in terms of accolades, in terms of South African peers, he's won it all. South African Cricketer of the Year, Test Cricketer of the Year, ODI Cricketer of the Year. He did have that weird Black Lives Matter stint where it just,
Colin Kaepernick
his back was so sore though, so he couldn't kneel that from carrying the team. So that's what he said. But anyway, we're not here to get.
No, I think Quinton. I think Quinton has lived up to potential. I think so. I think, could he have done more? Yes, but I don't think it's a waste of talent.
Yeah, I think Quinton De Kock and AB de Villiers are really similar. They both ended their careers prematurely. They both were unbelievable, and Quinton will certainly go down as a South African great.
Correct.
AB will go down as a global great, but they both could have cemented their legacy. I truly believe AB de Villiers could be in that category of best batsman ever.
AB de
Villiers, yes. But because he ended his cricket career prematurely, he's just never going to be elevated to that conversation.
But again, think
it's more like Mr. 360 and they're like, oh, he reinvented stuff.
But again, think of like Quinton De Kock played, when did he make his debut internationally? Young, eh?
Young gun.
In his teens.
I'm not too sure about that.
Well, it was definitely very
he was
and now he's 30.
Yeah.
I mean, 10 years of, constant pressure, especially when South Africa is going through a rebuild for the team. Like all the old guard is going away, like Callis, De Villiers, Smith, all those guys.
Boucher.
And now you coming in as the next big thing, but no one's coming up with you.
Yes.
It's only you.
But it's a tough thing because now you could say, what does he leave behind for Carl Verena's? Those, well, he leaves a spot. Carl's probably delayed.
Carl's his fingers there. Oh, hey, Quinny, come on, go.
No, it's tougher. Yeah, we back you.
Thank you, Quinny.
We back you. But so I think he's going to do the usual mercenary
T20. Like Faf du Plessis now.
Good for you.
Yeah.
Faf du Plessis, I still think should have been picked for a lot of the stuff.
What a player.
One of the best. But again, so his cricketing career ended not prematurely, but he's an outlier because of his sort of fitness. Faf.
Yeah.
So he could have played probably into his 40s. I think he's like 36, 37 now. And he's playing really good cricket across the world. Under the most
CPL,
sort of
the Caribbean League,
yes.
IPL.
Irie. The umpire, hey, Wagwan. Middle and leg, please.
Middle leg, brother. Blood.
Obama who? Obama blood. Oh,
die, man.
Sorry, we'll get the chemistry better.
Who is this guy?
But I remember you were getting feisty because you said he's retiring, so we must. What were you? You were trying to.
Yeah, I just think if you.
But what was the question?
From a South African, because he's retiring. So the question is, would you select Quinton De Kock for your World Cup squad, the upcoming World Cup now?
100%.
Exactly. But again, because you'd select him on merit because he'd be the best.
Yes.
But again, looking for the future, especially with all these young guns coming up, like a Brevis, like a Tristan Stubbs, who are not similar, but they would probably be the next big things, after the Kock batsman point of view.
But as people always say, the future is female. So Wolfhard is coming.
You can't make me laugh, man. The future's female.
No, Wolfhard is a proper cricketer.
She's good though. She's good.
I think that's also a funny thing. Guys would be like, oh, I could win a US Open in the women's.
No.
It's the same thing. Like, oh, I don't know. It sounds weird, but I could nick off Wolfhard. Like, probably not.
Probably not.
And why are you speaking like that? That's weird, bro.
That is weird.
That's weird. Like,
that's weird.
Get some friends around you.
Yeah.
But Quinton, just to conclude, because I feel like I'm not bashing Quinton De Kock. He was for a very long time my favorite cricketer. My favorite cricketers have gone Sean Pollock, AB de Villiers, Quinton De Kock, Temba Bavuma. And there's going to be a lot more.
Our captain.
Exactly. Mini-me.
Bring it home. I want to give it a nice encouraging bring it home, Temba, using mini-me.
No, it's going to... Temba Bavuma right now is one of the best one-day international cricketers.
At the moment.
Yeah. At the moment. All we care about is the moment. So we'll do a bigger feature on Temba and the Proteas heading into the World Cup. Yeah. But do not sleep on Temba Bavuma, please.
Nah.
But what I wanted to come round to is that the Kock is world class.
He is
in the truest sense of the definition. Like he would be in any team
and
in
open the batting
in one-day cricket. So
I just feel like looking from a future perspective as an SA cricket board, give the likes of Stubbs and the likes of Brevis international experience for a World Cup now. So then next time when we actually go to a T20 World Cup, because it's the 50 World Cup now.
It's,
in
yeah,
2 years' time. Then we have experience to potentially win or to get in the semi-final or the final of a World Cup. But now we're giving Quinton De Kock like his curtain, like this is your final performance for a World Cup, and then after this, like, goodbye. I don't feel like it's good for us as a cricketing nation. I think it's good for him. But as a cricketing nation, looking, into the future, what we're going to do, like life after Quinton De Kock, I feel like.
Well, I suppose maybe he feels like he was never looked after. That.
But then it's selfish.
And you get, if you look at the state that cricket is in South Africa from a managerial standpoint, I have no problem with Quinton De Kock going. I wash my. There's been enough proof. The De Villiers, Du Plessis, De Kock, all the dudes. And so it is just sad. Like the best thing we got at the moment is Jacques Callis looks like he's in new ads, and that's my favorite thing in the world. But who else would you say across the sporting world hasn't really lived up to their potential?
Oh, there's a lot. There's a lot. But ones that definitely, spring away.
You.
People could say Neymar. Personally, I don't. I'd say you're the third best player in a generation where the two players above you are the best, potentially, and arguably the best players to ever play the sport.
Do you know
what I mean?
This analogy might suck, but what if Neymar is Djokovic without that Mamba mindset? Because Djokovic is coming up. You've got Nadal, you've got Federer, and he cemented himself as one of the big three. Whereas Neymar has always kind of seemed to do the sort of Neymar show. And again, you don't know where these people come from. I don't know if Neymar comes from a favela. That's probably, a bit stereotypical.
Definitely humble beginnings.
But, tough. He has exceeded the world.
Yes.
He doesn't care.
Yes.
I wonder what Sam and Jadon think about my career.
He's playing his game.
I've read that he travels with a posse and all his mates are involved in his business.
Yeah.
And of course, these guys are businesses. They are multi-million South African billionaires.
But people will always say, Neymar had to win the Ballon d'Or and win this and the World Cup.
But that's why I say it's a mindset.
It is.
And
it is.
Obviously, Djokovic paid homage to Kobe Bryant after winning the US Open. He close friend of mine, Mamba mentality, and that's undoubtedly and I think that's maybe where he lacked in terms of Messi and Ronaldo. Obviously
his mindset,
GOAT mindset, is probably Neymar, where he went, maybe I'm the odd one out here, and because I don't even really feel like when I think of the big three I think of Neymar, Dos Santos Jr.
But he's also in that age where it's like is in that half generation between two generations. So like the generation of now Messi and Ronaldo, and then he's there like all alone. And then there's like the next generation of now Mbappe and all that stuff.
Yeah, that's true, because there was also that with Stan Wawrinka, the big Russian, beautiful guy, one-handed backhand. I can't remember. No. I'm looking at him. Hey. But
Andy Roddick as well.
Right, all those sort of in-betweens, but I don't know. When Vinicius is on the ball, he's cooking.
Medvedev?
Not Medvedev, no.
I'm thinking, I can't
Grigor... I can't remember his name. Ange Ball. So it's all happening, but there's one player left over from Jose Mourinho's Champions League winning 2010
Inter
Milan. And the answer might surprise you, because it is none other than Super Mario.
Why always me?
Why always?
I'll never ever do that, first of all. But I'll never ever forget that picture in my mind.
Yeah.
Bottom corner, and then he just stands and stares at the camera and why always me? And he just looks.
What a genius. When I used to support individuals' personalities. What's going on here? We're getting hacked. It's the old Russians.
Mario.
It's Super Mario. But I support personalities. I love Balotelli. He's flopped at Liverpool. He's kind of flopped wherever he's gone. But when you look at his accolades, Mario Balotelli must be one of the most decorated soccer players of all times, because he's won 8 domestic trophies during his career, including 3 Serie A titles, 1 Coppa Italia, the Champions League with Inter, as we've discussed, and he's also won the Premier League and FA Cup with Man City.
It's a lot.
Was he the man
No.
in every single one. I suppose he was pretty influential in Jose's Inter side.
Definitely influential for Roberto Mancini for the Man City.
Man
stint
City,
there.
before they had their blow up.
Yeah.
But yeah, what a guy. You know, all the stories about him, you know, me and Mario.
Entertaining as well. I remember there was one preseason game in the States. I think it was against LA Galaxy. He had an open goal and he decided to backheel the ball.
Oh.
And then it was like the 12th or 14th minute, and then Mancini said, no, come off.
Get out of here, you
Get out of here, you
donkey.
knucklehead.
The saddest unfulfilled potential in sport for me is Patrick Lambie. South African flower fullback. Just
Concussions.
If you had told Patrick he had to be prop, he probably would have played his heart out and been fantastic.
Yeah.
But he had 56 tests between 2010 and 2016. He was a real fan favorite. I think he's the closest to Percy that we've had in terms of just like, you know, you wanted to be Lambie. Everyone
Similar
loved
looking
Lambie.
as well, similar playing style.
Good looking guy.
The locks and everything.
You must be a kicker, you know, like.
Oh!
And that's maybe what's wrong with Marnie's kicking. He looks like this.
Marnie.
Marnie looks so angry. Even Damien McKenzie before he.
He's the guy from Wales that does this. Dan Bigger.
Touching.
And
So
he looks...
Marnie's just too serious.
Yeah.
So he must
He
relax.
doesn't want to be here. Spirits are forcing him to play fly off.
That's what Rupert says. He says Marnie doesn't care. He's so good. He's like,
I
whatever.
must do now this ball with the sticks.
No, I love Marnie. He's a great rugby player. He's going to come round. He's going to be
I believe in Marnie.
part of the World Cup
South
winning.
Africa. Trust in
Springboks.
Marnie.
Trust in Marnie.
He's going to
Exactly.
hopefully.
But yeah, poor Pat, he didn't really get to actualize everything because he was so fantastic. He was also in that berth when we had Mornay, you couldn't take off the field because penalty, 3 points, conversion, 2 points. Rack him up.
Anywhere on the field, any angle, over the pole.
But yeah, we were actually at that Newlands game when CJ Stander, ex-South African,
clattered into
Patrick. And it is different. When you watch rugby live, you hear the collisions and
that's hard.
And when Newlands is actually quite a hostile ground, the way it's designed,
it's
compact.
very
People are like, oh, Newlands. Nah, Newlands was like, heck.
Newlands is the best.
Yeah,
I prefer Newlands over Cape Town Stadium.
Cape Town Stadium.
Yo.
Oh, they're on the field. Where are they? No, so and it was one of those moments where like Newlands was real quiet, and you could
feel
could sense something bad had happened, and obviously he retired after having sort of concussive symptoms and having racked up a few. I don't know where he is in the world. I don't know what he's doing. I just hope he's happy.
Yeah,
because
Patrick. We miss you, Patrick.
Old Patrick, but. The last one, Jadon's got an NBA one because
I do.
Young Carmelo.
I do.
Why
Anthony.
do you think he didn't actualize his potential?
Look, Carmelo, again, like most of these, talent by the bucket load or boatload. Drafted third overall in that drafting class of Anthony Davids, the brow.
Frida Kahlo,
John Wall, that class, very, very, very talented bunch. Never won a league. Never won a league.
Never won a ring, huh?
Never won a chip. And
World champion for what?
But again, coming back, to what the accolades that he actually has, is the 9th overall leading scorer in the NBA of all time. 9th. That is impressive. But again, I just feel like with all the hype that he got from coming out of high school and college, I feel like sometimes you need to have a chip to be recognized.
Yes.
You will be an NBA Hall of Famer. I definitely believe so. But I feel like, just to cement his legacy. Yeah. Because if you say...
More famous for being LeBron's friend now.
Exactly. If you say something, if you say Melo to someone, they'll usually think of LaMelo Ball instead of Carmelo Anthony.
Maybe they don't know ball then.
Yeah.
Yeah. I dip in and out of the NBA, but he's a Knicks legend. He is New York
Knicks, Nuggets,
so, like
not the McDonald's one, the Denver one,
the Denver type, the Jokic. But yeah, I think in America he's revered slightly differently because like New York is an iconic city, and it's almost like what you call those players? No, when you're like the streets will never forget.
Oh, okay.
And I think Melo, like Balotelli, like the streets. These maybe aren't flop careers. They may be more the streets will never forget. Yeah. So as Jadon Smith said, what you call an icon living?
What do you call icon living?
Tupac, banging your mom. Old Jada, she does love. And one of our last feature story that we're going to do before we move into a few fun things is we're going to touch on, because
Up the Devils.
Up to the
the Red Devils.
The red. No, I'm joking. We're going to focus on what's happening at Manchester United.
What's not happening?
Yeah, but with Jadon Sancho.
Hey, Jadon, my namesake. So,
the sake of a name.
For the sake of a name. For those of you who don't know, Sancho had a falling out with Erik Ten Hag, our manager, after he was excluded from my love.
I always love when people say our manager.
Yeah,
like, we'll never see Ten Hag in our lives.
Well, he was excluded from the matchday squad. Obviously, Ten Hag stating that he was, just not up to par and up to scratch. He didn't train well. And that's why he's not selected for the match.
But that's, I think, like, what world are we living in? Manager gets asked a question. Manager gives truthful feedback.
Or seem to be truthful.
Well, I mean, again, it's a bit like the Springbok thing that they try to lose. Erik Ten Hag is not out here trying to ruin people's careers. I can tell you there's one thing and one thing only that ETH is focused on. And that's winning fucking football matches. And especially when the ETA of these football wins is going to come, that's what we want to know, Eric.
Yeah.
So that's what he's worried about.
Yeah.
So even if he thinks he's trying to get a reaction or it wouldn't have been done dishonestly, he's not happy with the level. You must improve. We sent you to the Netherlands, sent him to mom. He was eating Erik Ten Hag's mom's food, kicking there, running around the Netherlands.
And especially with our state of the club at the moment.
Yes.
Why would you want to attract more attention from, a different source of now Jadon Sancho being a bit...
Yeah, Ten Hag would never do
issues and stuff.
But it also just shows you can't take criticism because you had issues at City, issues at Dortmund. And again, you'll see these people in your lives and they're always like, this guy's he's been rude to me or he's been unfair, and you're like, not everyone always is going to be unfair to you. So if you think that's the case, it's probably you. You're the problem. Yeah,
and Ten Hag obviously banned Sancho from all first team activities. Why?
I just think that's funny, bro. You can't come. Even if you want to come, you can't play. You can't come
first team, but he has been seen training on the academy pitches. There's also been evidence that he's been watching some of the academy games, which is quite nice.
How many fields do they have? Because you had Greenwood training by himself, then Sancho's by himself, then Martial's injured.
There's a lot.
So, my word.
But man, all he has to do is apologize. So it's now like a whole relationship thing and a situationship now. I don't want to apologize. I don't feel I'm wrong. And Ten Hag saying I'm not wrong. I'm just doing the best for the club. And it's just gotten ugly. Is there if you're listening, watching at home, and you're thinking, I have conflict with someone in my life, just apologize. Even if you're like not in the wrong, apologize. Then you feel better about yourself. Don't ask us for advice, but just do your thing.
But just say sorry, and the other person will be like, whoa, or they won't.
Just be the better person.
They don't get it, or don't. Who are we to?
Who really? Sports, not with the relationship.
who cares about your life? But the thing about Sancho is then like you've been called out, and then he goes to social media. So he's saying, I've been a scapegoat. I've been made this. I've been made that. And a scapegoat, despite what a classmate in 2012 referred to as a goat that escapes, I don't really think he's a scapegoat. I think Pogba was a scapegoat, but you're not ready for that conversation.
You're not.
Are you? The bloody racists. But anyway, if you just look at Jadon Sancho's stats, the most impressive stat Jadon Sancho has is that he's 23.
He has youth. He's on the Olympics.
He's got youth on his side. Unfortunately, he's got more years of age than goals. So in 82 appearances, Sancho has scored 12 goals. And of the 82 appearances, 58 have been in the Premier League, 9 goals, 6 assists.
So if you had to put up better numbers and he's saying, I'm a scapegoat.
Yes.
Then I'll be on Sancho's side. Then I'm saying,
or if he's a defensive midfielder.
There we go. And we need him.
Yes, but you're attacking. So like you're an attacking player. Unfortunately, your relevance is measured by stats.
That's the harsh reality of being a footballer.
Yeah.
Especially an attacking footballer.
Do you think in 82 appearances, you could score 1 goal for Man United.
If I'm attacker.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
I'll back my chances. Have you seen my right foot?
So how are you scoring this goal? It's got to be a tap-in. You know,
No, what if it? No, I'm curling.
you know, you know,
Top bins, pup.
you know when you go and play soccer on a field and your friend is the keeper and you can't even touch the ball. These keepers are banging their heads on the thing.
Nah, in all honesty,
No, you're not.
82. 82, I think I'm scoring a tap in.
So that's 80.
I'm not hitting it out of the park. I'm not hitting a skulls ripper or a Gerard 87th minute winner to win the FA Cup. I'm not doing that.
No,
what I am doing is
didn't
I'm
ask for-
scoring.
Brilliant. So, okay, so you've got 82 games. Let's say the manager is a maniac and he plays you for 90 minutes.
No, but that's my appearance.
So you've
okay,
got,
90
yeah.
minutes,
So you've
okay.
got 7,380 minutes
Score a goal.
to score a goal.
I'll do it.
I don't think so.
You can do it.
Thanks, but no.
Nah, I think it's possible. To score a goal, yes.
I think I could take a point off Sabalenka. Not a game, a point.
No.
Double fault. She's really pushing the margins. I'll take it.
I have more chance of scoring a goal in 7,000, how many minutes?
7,380.
7,380 minutes than you getting a point of a professional tennis player.
A point?
In a game. Not a match, a game.
You mean a whole game?
No, a game like 6...
That's a set.
One game, sorry.
I'm not asking for a game. I just said I get a point. You see, I'm
In a match.
reasonable. Yeah, 1 point. And it's a double fault.
No, that's easy, man.
You out here, you're going to be like Martial running around.
No, I can't. I'm imagining myself in the
I don't think you would get a ball of Harry Maguire, but that's
That's a conversation for
that's
another
neither
game.
here nor there. But the interesting thing about the Sancho situation is that it brought to my attention the homegrown player
The rule.
which I'd never heard of before.
Yeah.
Like homegrown, you think Benny McCarthy.
Yeah.
When they talk about South African
Steven
homegrown.
Pinar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everton.
Yeah. But the
Blackburn
homegrown.
Rovers.
Yeah.
Those are
West
our
Ham.
clubs.
Blackburn Rovers second in the Golden Boot behind Drogba. Penny. Yeah.
That's my guy.
But anyway, the homegrown rule.
For those of you who don't know.
For those of you who don't know,
Which should be a
every
lot.
club, obviously in the Premier League, has to have 7 homegrown players in their squad. And essentially, it's basically an FA, or the player has to be registered or played for an FA affiliated club at least 3 years before turning 21.
Yes.
So, an under 21 player would not qualify as a homegrown player. So, for example, Levi Colwill from Chelsea would not be considered a homegrown player, even though he's played his whole career in England because he's not 21 yet. So, you need 7 players outside of, homegrown players. That's obviously
No, and that it obviously it makes sense that's why English players, or because you're more likely to be a homegrown player. If the interesting thing has got nothing to do with your nationality.
Yeah.
So you can be born in Cameroon, but you've played from 18 to 21 at Blackburn Rovers,
like Hector Bellerin, for example, Arsenal, Spanish player. Paul Pogba.
Academy at United, so all that sort of stuff, which is very interesting, but it makes a guy like Sancho very valuable. So because it's then ends up like 17 out of 25 are all your flary internationals, and the top 6 only have about 40% homegrown.
So Liverpool,
it's
this
all very
season,
interesting.
registered 24 players.
Yes.
Because they only had 6 homegrown players.
Yeah.
So they couldn't get the 7th one because then obviously it's not, abiding by the rules.
The squad of 25. So it's all, but there you go. Declan Rice, astronomical fee. Our boy Jack Grealish. Astronomical fee.
Keita.
Sancho came on massive money to United. What was it, 75, 80 mil?
Yeah, round about there.
Hey, that is literally 10 million a goal.
So those couch managers saying, English media hypes up players. Yeah, it's true.
It's true.
But it's all about the homegrown rules. So educate yourselves.
Yes, it's a lot like the sort of IPL where you got like the 4 internationals. That's the reverse, because like the internationals, well, I suppose it also makes the good Indians very, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
You know what I mean. It's getting on in the show.
Yeah. See, the Left Back podcast educating you about the rules that you didn't know.
I'm not sure I know after that, but I feel you know, and that's good enough.
Yeah.
And that's good enough. It almost feels time for a South African delicacy.
A snack.
Because
My tummy is grumbling.
Mazek's brought gifts for the show, which is good because the last thing we do before we say goodbye is we are going to do a few Betway predictions. And this is not advice for you to take, nor are we affiliated with BW, but we just... Oh, lovely. Very nice. Kusista. A lot of, I'm telling you, white people in South Africa tremble at the thought of pronouncing Kusista because they cook sister. And now, like if you're English, you're not Afrikaans, and you don't have that sort of colored community either. So you're just trembling. That's why. So you have a bite. You say, "Oh, nice kusista." That's what you call it. Kusista.
A kusista without the K is this one. That's from my understanding.
No, it is.
No, maybe it's different. Maybe we just have the wrong, like the Mandela effect. And then a koeksister is the twisty, the syrupy ones. I don't like those ones.
No,
too sweet. I like this one.
That's straight to the neck. But
the Malay one.
I'm going to give you some dangerous bets because that's how I live my life, and I bet on Betway using no more than 20 rand. So some people call it Akka bets. Some people call it multi-bets, but I've got a bit of a tasty one for this weekend. I'll just open up my bet slip over here. And the first one, this is probably the worst bet I've made in my life, but it is for Italy, who have never beaten New Zealand, ever to beat New Zealand at a Rugby World Cup. And 20 rand there gets you 420. So if you have 20 rand to throw away...
Rather buy a loaf of bread.
Okay. You reckon?
New Zealand's not losing to Italy, guys.
Yeah. Interestingly enough, Sam Whitelock, if he gets a cap, I think he becomes the most capped All Black ever.
All Black or international? Oh,
no, All Black. Yeah.
All Black.
Actually, the most black person.
No,
most capped black person.
No. Wow. National rugby player, man.
Yes.
Like of all time.
And I've already got Betway trembling in their boots. They want to cash out 18 rand here.
I hate that. When you want to cash out and you see that locked icon.
It's scary. They know. And then my second big bet is the big multi-bet. I've got Brighton beating Villa, Arsenal beating Bournemouth, United beating Palace, Newcastle beating Burnley. Lots of wins this weekend. West Ham beating Sheffield, City beating Wolves. And the big one is Tottenham beating Liverpool.
Where?
Ange Ball.
Where
on the field.
Anfield.
No, on the field. I don't know where. I don't know. It's the both teams started very well, Liverpool and Tottenham. Yeah. But I don't know. I'm just falling in love like everyone with Ange Ball. It's exciting.
It is exciting. It's something new to the Premier League.
So and Basuma are like OG Chelsea. Essien and the gang, you know, when it was just like, you know,
Makaleli and the boys.
Exactly that.
What's your return?
So 20 rand gets you 1,035 rand.
And how many games are there? 5, 6?
No, just about 8. So
even 20 rand South Africa.
So basically, Mazek's says I'm throwing away 40 rand. What's your lock for
I have a different strategy. I bet 50 rand or 40 rand.
All right, tell us you come from
3 games. Money, huh? First game, the Champions League. I'm betting all Champions League games this week.
That's your multi.
It's a multi or the Acker. Napoli versus Madrid. They're playing in Naples, and I'm betting a draw.
I would have bet a lot of money that they played in Napoli. But it's Naples.
What is Naples?
Like the Staples Center. Anyway.
Yeah.
Okay, you've got Napoli winning.
Diego Armando Maradona Arena. RIP. So I'm betting a draw. I just think, Napoli, the Italian champions, current Italian champions. Madrid going through a slump, losing 3-1 to Atletico.
Okay, I got you. Next one.
Draw. Next one, Celtic. Glasgow Celtic, not
Bloom Celtic.
Not Bloom Celtic. Versus Lazio, playing in Scotland, and I'm betting Celtic win.
So Scotland must be the Highlands.
Oh, Celtic Park. And then Porto versus Barca, playing in Portugal, Barca to win. Nice. Bet 50 rand, my return is 980. Pending on obviously increasing for the odds and stuff.
I'm honestly going to make that bet. And again, this is just interesting. The best thing about this sort of betting, obviously it can get quite dangerous.
You never know.
You can lose your life to it, to the game, the hustle. Yeah. But I like it because it's fun. You chat to mates about it. And whatever your money is, you put aside what you think is reasonable in your lifestyle, because really what it is just throwing away money.
It is.
It's like if you go to Grand West or whatever and you want to have fun and gamble, it's not fun, by the way. It's gross.
It isn't.
It's disgusting.
Yeah.
I would rather have a burger at
I'd rather do
Mavericks.
Betway.
They must sponsor the show when we get big. When we get big, they will. They'll come crawling.
Pilot episode, we never know what has in store for us, Willies.
You never know. But the last thing we want to do is a quick little social thing, because we've got the World Cup. We've got some big soccer football players we've spoken about. And that is, of course, guess the sports person. So you've got 10 questions to guess who I'm thinking about. So I've got a rugby player. You've got 10 questions. You get it right. I'll give you a 50 Rand Betway bet. Okay. So your questions start now. 10 questions to guess the rugby player I am thinking of.
Okay, first question. Is he South African?
No.
Is he European?
No.
Is he from New Zealand?
Yes and no. You roll with it.
Is he retired?
No.
Is he retired? No retirement. Yes and no, New Zealand.
Keep him coming.
Does he play for Australia?
No. Getting close geographically.
It's not.
In that region.
Oh, I know.
Okay, who?
Is he a winger?
No. That's 6.
I was thinking of Joshua, the wing from Fiji.
You're in the right sort of islander.
Islander.
That's a big clue. You got 4 questions.
Islander geographics. I'm thinking Fiji. I'm thinking Samoa.
Yes and no with All Blacks is big.
Is he Samoan?
No.
So he is Fijian. Okay.
No, I'll give you but 8. Not Fijian. 8. You got 2 more.
Tongan.
Yes. Now you got to make it.
Oh, no, I know.
Who is it?
That's not a question.
No, it's your last one. You got to guess who it is.
No, I have one more question.
No, you got 9. You have to hit it because you have to say, is it ba ba ba?
I can't get to his name now. I see his face in my head.
What does he look like?
He's a centre.
Yes.
And see, I know. What's his name?
3.
No, wait.
Okay.
He plays in England and now he plays for Munster.
Man, I'm not giving you more yeses. You got how many? It's like 20 10 questions.
I can't get his name now, but I see his face.
It's Malachi Fekitoa. Fekitoa. That's how you remember to do the trigonometry. Okay. And that's why I say yes and no, because of course Malachi Fekitoa played for New Zealand. He's now playing for Tonga at the Rugby World Cup, I think. Oh boy, I do hope he is, because that would be a stinker. Okay, now you've got one for me.
Footballer.
And I'm guessing the footballer. Okay. Does he play in the Premier League?
No.
Is he alive?
Yeah.
Premier League. Does he play in La Liga?
No.
Aibo. League One.
No.
Is he South African?
Yes.
Is he still playing football? No. Is he coaching?
I think he is.
You think he is?
I know he's done his coaching badges and levels. I don't know if he's coaching.
Don't worry about it. 7 questions in. Nice to meet you, Teko Modise.
Wrong.
8. Okay, he's done his badge. Is he a pundit?
He's one of those like the sporadic ones.
Hey, I'm on my last one.
Think South African retired footballers.
Dreadlocks. Damn. The only one.
Close to the hairstyle.
With Teko's hairstyle. Or
no, you just said it now. He had it. That was one of like his. I'm giving you too many clues.
No, I was going to say Matthew Booth. No, I don't know. Who is it?
Okay, he played for Everton.
He played for Everton? Oh, Stephen Pienaar.
There we go.
That's my guy.
There we go.
Got it in 10. I've enjoyed this.
I have.
We hope you've enjoyed it as well. Again, it's a new podcast.
It's new to me. I'm not one of those.
Yeah. I think you're fantastic.
Thank you.
I'd give you a solid 4. No.
I'm looking 3.5, but I'll take a 4.
No, I think you're fantastic.
Thank you, Willie.
We hope
you're comfortable with you.
Yeah, no, and that's what we want it to be. Yeah. The Left Back Sporting Podcast. We hope you guys have enjoyed. Please, when we get our socials going, it'll all be spat out through Kidsy Toe sometimes, because that's going to be the owning channel.
So at the moment, follow KETS Not follow, subscribe.
Subscribe.
And
but,
follow the socials.
but don't worry, the actual podcast, the Left Back Sporting podcast, will be its own thing, and you'll see that when it comes out, and we'll point you that way. Please leave a review. Share it with your friends. Get stuck in.
Yeah.
Don't send us horrible feedback. People say constructive criticism. We're not a building
We don't
company.
care. we don't care. Oopsie.
So Mazek says there's nothing at KETS. We say bye, but we can't do that. And maybe we say safe.
Something else. I told him we need something, trademarky for us.
We got the pilot, and now the flight's over.
Yeah.
Leave your seats, but don't get up too early. Just leave the plane like a normal person.
In a nice, orderly fashion.
We'll see you next time.
Cheers.